Hey, my name is Nathan Peterson. Today, I am going through TikTok. I don't use TikTok that often, but I want to see what people are saying about OCD and give you some education along the way. So let's jump right into it. So right off the bat, I'm noticing this person is doing probably some magical thinking, maybe just right OCD, where somebody feels that feeling inside that it could just be completely random. This felt wrong as you walk through this doorway. And you know what you should do is probably walk out of the doorway and then do it again, and then walk out and then do it again. And what happens is their brain says, until you do it right, or it feels right, or you do it according to my rules, something bad's gonna happen. Sometimes people don't know what that bad thing is gonna be, or it can be completely random. They just don't wanna take the risk. It can be so exhausting because even though they know, sometimes this doesn't make sense, they feel the need to do it anyway. Checking expiration just in case. I think naturally we tend to do that as people, but sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. Each person is so different, but often when I see that checking, it's either I don't want to be contaminated or I don't want to throw up. There's something called emetophobia, where I usually see this as a compulsion. So I'm going to keep checking the expiration dates just to make sure, because I don't want to get sick. I feel for this person because I can tell this isn't something they want to do, but they feel compelled to do it. Man, this is a good visualization here. Like, I can feel it. For me, normally, I don't like sticky stuff, I don't like it. Very good visualization of just like what it feels like to have a sensation. Because we often think of something like contamination. I just don't want germs. But did you know people can feel it? Like they literally, it's like it's on their hands just like the jelly here. They can feel it on their hands. And it can feel so overwhelming. And that's why they wash. That's why they avoid, is like, okay, well, even if I did wash, I still feel it. Typically what we would do for treatment for something like this is feel the feeling on purpose. And you could think about this for any theme of OCD, whether you feel a sensation, maybe it's down in that area, maybe it's your hands, where it's like, let's tolerate that feeling and enjoy it. Or like, yeah, man, I love this jelly on my hands. This is amazing. I hope it lasts all day. Awesome, sweet, cool. And we go touch the thing that made you feel like you got that feeling. Go touch it again, but make it really meaningful. Make that thing your buddy, hold it around, let it be with you. We want to take value away from this stuff. So even though you feel it, that feeling actually doesn't last forever. And we don't have to make sense of it if it's really there, if it's not there, if it's make-believe. You feel it because you feel it. So let's change how you're feeling it. Change your relationship with something like this. What OCD can look like. Can you see the similarities to this other one? I would see responsibility OCD in something like this. I do not want to be responsible for my dog getting out or my house burning down or whatever it might be, which is like, yeah, no one wants to be responsible for that. There's this hyper responsibility that's like overwhelming, completely overwhelming. And it's like, I don't even want to risk it. It's a lot of the just in cases. And just like we would do with the contamination, we want to possibly leave things plugged in. We want to make sure the dog, we let it out and hopefully it comes back. There's this low level of just responsibility that we know we have, but we also make mistakes and we have to be willing to risk that. So we use a lot of maybe, maybe nots. Maybe the dog will get out. Maybe it'll be my fault. Maybe the house will burn down. Maybe they'll be disappointed in me. Maybe, I don't know. Or we can agree with it. I hope my house burns down. And that doesn't mean we're giving a bunch of like bad juju here. Like, I hope my house burns down. Sweet. Hope the dog gets out. Amazing. What a fun experience he would have. When we turn it into something kind of silly or ridiculous, it takes that power away from it. Jake Shane explains his OCD. I actually don't know who he is.
Girl. Yes. I used to have to look in the mirror and smile 10 times before going to bed. So I would go like this.
Okay, first off, so I have seen so many people in my career with OCD. The way he's explaining this right now, he's trying to make light of it, but I can see that pain that he's experiencing. It is very real that, you know, he's on this podcast. He wants to be funny. There's someone that was just laughing, but like we can often turn this into like a funny thing. Like, oh, I had to look back and forth. Oh, it's so funny. But like to him, he's probably feeling so much anxiety, so much distress. It feels so absolutely real that talking about it outside of the moment might feel okay. But in the moment, it was probably really bad, really bad.
I would have to make sure the last thing I saw in the mirror was me smiling or else bad things would happen. Yeah. I also used to cluck with my mouth.
Do it.
I can't. You know what? Give me my phone. I'm going to have my
like
friend.
That?
I'm going to have my friend cluck for you. Because, no.
What's cluck?
I used to count to 2, and I would cluck, and my friends would always be like, "Stop clucking." Hi, it's me and Role Model. Do you remember when I used to cluck?
Yes, your clucking was literally the most annoying thing in the entire world.
Okay, well, he's asking me to like imitate it, and obviously, if I start clucking again, I won't stop. So can you do it?
He would literally be pacing around, and he would go. It was like actually
that is horrifying.
They kept thinking I was.
Okay, so he obviously recognizes that this could be somewhat triggering for him to do himself, even if he imitated it. Man, this is a theme I'm noticing throughout these videos is just this either magical thinking something bad could happen, a just right feeling, and the brain comes up with anything. Man, if you don't make this clucking noise and it doesn't sound right or correct, or you didn't do it in the right tone, or, you know, you don't want to risk it. Something could happen. I'm glad that this isn't something that he's experiencing right now. But as we hear these people, because sometimes people will talk about their OCD experiences, yeah, it can be like, oh, it's funny, it's interesting, oh yeah, see the pain that they're going through. Ask them how they're doing. How are things going now? How did you get through that? It's hard. It's hard. Just like the other magical thinking, we want to break the rules. If it says you have to cluck a certain way, then we're not doing that. We're going to do it out of order. We're going to do it wrong. We're not going to do it at all. We have to look at the mirror and you have to, the last person you see is you smiling, then you make sure you look in the mirror and you're like all wrong. Let's make it wrong. And you're going to feel anxious and your body's going to say, something's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. Oh no, risky. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, possibly. We'll see. Hope so. Cool. Awesome. We want to take complete value away from something like this.
You're a terrible person. You're gonna throw your cat off the balcony. I'm not doing this today. Hey! Ow! Do you remember yesterday when you called your friend's baby cute? You're a I meant cute.
I wonder if she's going to say the word. Themes of OCD. Sometimes we think people have like one thing. Contamination or harm or relationship, but OCD can be all over the place. People can have multiple themes, and it's this is what OCD can sound like. Just completely random. Hey, you said that kid was cute. Oh, you must like kids. Okay. Any threat. Let's see what else comes up.
Cute, like adorable. You know, stop me, please. Okay. Anyways, eat my breakfast. Megan, what do you want? I'm just thinking that like you might use your fork to stab your own eye. So
There's
I'm
that
just
harm
gonna sit
OCD.
here and watch that all play out. Okay, well, it's actually a spoon, so nice try. Not gonna stab myself with a spoon. But maybe you'll gouge out your own eye with the spoon. Either way, I'm gonna get my popcorn. Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna eat that. I'm gonna go eat a granola bar instead. So. Oh, you mean the ones with peanut butter? What if you're allergic to those now? I know you've never been, but like, what if you're allergic to peanut butter now and you die? You're sadistic as f. What is wrong with
You see, the natural reaction is when OCD threatens, then we're like, okay, no, that can't be true. No, I wouldn't do that. But then it comes up with an alternative. Yeah, well, you'd gouge your eye out. Yeah, but this could really happen. What if you're allergic, as you just saw? It's hard to get a grasp on all of these threats, and you might have to come up with your own go-to phrase, whether it's a maybe, maybe not, or you're agreeing with it. Yeah, man, I totally would like poke my eye out. Sweet. Yeah, hope I'm allergic. Hope I go to the hospital. I almost imagine you have pushed this thing to the wall because you're acting like you don't care, and it says, hey, well, what about this? Well, what about that? You know, you could do this. It's finding the next thing for you to be anxious about. But if we give it all the same answers, no matter what, eventually it's just like, this is not fun. They're not giving me anything. How life with OCD sounds.
I'm tired. I should shower so it'll wake me up. If I'm gonna shower, I should exercise first so I don't have to shower twice. If I'm gonna exercise, I should eat first. If I'm gonna cook, I should have coffee first so I can have energy to cook.
Oh my goodness, there's that internal dialogue again of like not feeling present, not being in the moment, of rules. If you've never done it before, write down all of the rules you can think of for OCD. That it tells you, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to ask for reassurance, you have to do this compulsion. Write it all out so you can call out your OCD. I do have those worksheets in my course. If you've never checked that out, I'll link that down below. But you can also just do it on your phone too. Write it all out and then you can call it out. Okay, wait, what? Like, you're wanting me to do this? You're wanting me to not exercise until this happens? Like, I already know that's a lie and I'm gonna go do this thing anyway. I would have never guessed you had OCD.
Get rid of Kelly!
Oh, that's the same girl.
At least I don't lie to the police.
How dare you?
Oh, wait a second. Whoa, let's watch that again. That went so
Did a
fast.
good job getting rid of
You
Kelly!
would never guess you had OCD
At least I don't lie to the police.
because your place is always a
dare
mess. Okay. Yeah. Very big misconception of OCD. Oh, yeah. Well, your room is so clean. How could you have OCD? No. Pretty natural reaction for those who don't understand it. But you don't have to have a clean room to have OCD. Maybe that's not the theme that you've completely attached to. If you're new to OCD, yeah, sure, that could be one thing. But there's harm OCD, relationship OCD, real event OCD, magical thinking OCD, religious OCD. Like, there are so many different themes. Your room can be dirty in all of them.
The scariest
Ariana Grande.
thing in the world to me.
When did it subside then? Like, it's interesting that it was younger and then not older.
Weird, because I talk to my therapist about this a lot. It goes away when I'm creating and when I'm busy with work. Like when I have a job, it went away when I started working a lot.
Ah,
And when I
interesting.
started doing like finding community in theater and finding people and finding casts and
This is why when people isolate because of their OCD or they wait, I can't get a job until my OCD is better. I can't get married. I can't date. I can't go to this event. That's where OCD thrives and lives, in those moments of isolation. And so when you're busy and you're living life and you're doing things, that often is its own piece of treatment. And it's not distraction. We don't want to use it as like, let me stay so busy so I don't have thoughts. But your brain realizes like, you're living life regardless of these intrusive thoughts. So there's some value there.
distractions and kind of place to like put my feelings and like use my feelings. And then when I'm kind of like in an off season or like in between projects, I'm like, is that thing scary again? I'm like, am I like, is that thing coming back? I don't know. But I think like when art is in the forefront of my life, I don't have time to think about anything else. Everything really subsides when, But that was when I was young and I was much, I think I was so brave then. And now I'm like so soft and so like, I'm like a little, but we're finding the balance.
Did you hear that piece of in the downtime, you catch yourself saying like, is it still here? Sometimes the answers are like, yeah, man, I hope so. Hope I'm still having these thoughts. Amazing. She can keep living her life regardless of what's happening. I'm glad that she said therapist too. Finding a therapist is important if you've never done that. You can do treatment on your own, definitely at home, but having someone to talk to just to understand, like, yes, this is what you go through, like, go find that. So did you relate to any of these videos? Let me know down in the comments. OCD can be so debilitating. And as we continue to bring more awareness, things are gonna get better. People are gonna understand it. You're gonna know it. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.